Hello, everyone. Going to go ahead and get started on our Week 8 housekeeping items. A lot of this is very similar to the previous 7 weeks, but just want to do some friendly reminders as we go through this. First of which is going to be the feedback on the homework and the quizzes. That assignment 1.2, the Math Resource Center assignment, is closed. Feedback for the 4 graded discussion forums to this point. Discussion 2, 4, 6, and 7 should be, you should have feedback and grades on that at this point. The autolock practice test is a friendly reminder to get that completed. We'll take a look at what is due inside of the Week 8 discussion forum. Reminder about the midterm exam, and then my availability for the week. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, similar to the first 7 weeks here. Homework, quizzes, practice, midterm exam, etc. Scores are automatically updated inside of the class portal. They remain open through the last day of the class. Homework problems, as mentioned in the second bullet, those guys are unlimited amount of attempts. Quizzes can be taken up to 3 times, and the best score is recorded to the class portal there. So if at this particular point, should be pretty close to having everything from week 1 to week 7 completed. If not, again, we've only got roughly about 3+ weeks left inside of the class. Want to make sure that you get to having all the homeworks, all the quizzes, the midterm exam, the practice midterm exam completed by the end of the course, because there are no extensions as a result of lack of time management to get this done. So again, as I've made mention before, try to keep things as flexible as possible due to life happens events. However, all of this does need to be done by the end of the course, by Sunday of week 11. So still can be submitted without penalty, but we are coming closer to the end. So again, if you're still on week 2, week 3's assignments, it's probably time to get things in gear so that you can be successful and maximize your grade as much as possible. So again, that's why these friendly reminders are out there each week. Just another reminder again, if you have not enrolled into My Math Lab for some reason at this point, this video is an announcement inside the class portal that goes through the process of enrolling into My Math Lab, as well as how to complete a homework and quiz, as well as seeing the detailed feedback that's out there. So again, this is a very good video to review if you did not do that through the first 7 weeks of the course. Math Resource Center assignment was due back week 3. Always remind people of this just in case maybe it was missed, but again, was a very minimal part of the grade. This is one of the few assignments inside the class where it cannot be submitted late. Again, this was only available during weeks 1 through 3. Feedback for weeks 2, 4, 6, and 7 should be inside the gradebook. Please review the rubric that's out there. And again, as we've made mention in the previous weeks, discussion forum postings cannot be accepted late unless there is some accommodation that has been approved by the university. So again, if you do not fall underneath an accommodation, there's no need to send me an email asking, hey, I didn't get week 7's discussion forum done. Can you reopen it? The answer to that question is no. I will point you to this video as a reference point because we've talked about this via the first 7 weeks of the class. And again, here inside of this housekeeping announcement in week 8. So again, this is the discussion forums that I've made mention previously. These guys are roughly only 8 to 9% of the grade inside of the class. If you've missed one, it's not the end of the world. It's only 15 points out of a total 1,000. So very minimal part of the overall grade. It's where the homework, the quizzes, midterm exam, final exam, that makes up 90+% of the total grade inside of the class. So missing one of these, again, is not the end of the world, but again, the rationale for this, these are attendance based. And again, they're only open in the week they are assigned. Okay, autolock practice test. I know I've said this the first 7 weeks. I'm going to say it again. Week 8, this is what needs to be done as soon as possible to ensure that you have a successful experience taking the final exam week 11 of the class. So again, this is where you would verify your hardware, your software, internet, making sure you have a working camera and microphone on the device that you are taking the final exam from. So again, if you go back to week 1's housekeeping announcement, I go into detail in terms of what needs to be done with the assignment so that Honor Lock is ready to go once week 11 rolls around, and that you're successful and don't have any technical issues associated with taking the final exam. As I've made mention the first 7 weeks, and again this week, not getting Honor Lock working the last week of class, if you wait until Saturday, Sunday of week 11, is not going to be grounds for an extension. That's why I do these videos, that I'm trying to be as proactive as possible so that you do get any issues resolved before the end of class. Week 8 discussion, just like week 7's discussion, week 2's, week 4's discussion. This is a 15-point discussion. It opens Monday of week 8 at 12 a.m. Mountain Standard or Mountain Daylight Time. Closes Sunday, 11:59 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, Mountain Daylight Time of week 8. Doesn't open early. Posts are not accepted late unless there is an accommodation that has been approved via the university. Initial posts, again, just like week 7, 9 points on the initial. Initial post needs to be made by Thursday on or before 11:59 p.m. Mountain Standard or Mountain Daylight Time, depending on when you're taking the course. First response is 3 points. The second one is 3 points as well. 9 plus 3 plus 3 gets us to 15 points. And again, the discussion forum closes at 11:59 p.m. Mountain Standard Time or Mountain Daylight Time on Sunday. You're not able to make additional posts afterwards unless there is an accommodation that's already been discussed previously, and I've already given you the details on that via email on what needs to be done if you are underneath an accommodation. If you don't have an accommodation, I do not accept the discussion forum posts late. Okay, and again, class portal is the timekeeper. You wait until late Thursday night, and it's 11:58 p.m. Mountain Standard Time on a Thursday night, and it registers at 12 a.m. Mountain Standard Time on Friday. It will not be accepted for the 9 points. It would count as one of your responses. But again, you want to ensure that either Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or sometime earlier on Thursday, you're getting that initial post in so you can maximize your score. Initial post of a posting for attendance, an ellipse, a hello will not count. As we've talked about before, on a graded form, I will reply with a snapshot of that posting and end up deleting it. It does not count for points, nor does it count for attendance. So please put forth the effort. I will explain what's involved with week 8's discussion forum here in a little bit so that you can be successful with it. You must post first. You don't see other students' responses until after the time of making your initial post. Again, that's the same way that it's been the previous 7 weeks and continuing on here in week 8. And the quality of responses, you did a good job post 1 sentence blurb is going to get little, if any, credit on it. Again, I'm looking for corrections if needed on somebody's post, providing a different example, responding to my initial post if it's done Monday through Thursday, as well as you can take a problem from week 8's homework and you can use that as one of your responses as well. Doesn't count as the initial post, but you can take a homework problem from week 8 that counts as one of your quality responses as well. So let's talk week 8's discussion forum. And I'm going to go ahead, instead of 10 daytime high temperatures, I'm going to go ahead and do it for, let's do 5, okay? You'll have a larger data set to work with, but I live out of Missouri, and let me get my pen going here. So I'll show the manual calculation. I'm also going to show them inside of Excel. So you can, since we used Excel back week 6, we'll go ahead and use that again just to show you how it could be done as well. It doesn't have to be done in Excel. You can do it by hand as well for the purpose of this assignment, but I'm just going to do this for 5 temperatures here. Actually, I'm going to do it for 6 because you got an even number, and I'll explain why here in a minute, why I'm going to choose 6 temperatures. Okay, so draw, and let's make this a little cleaner color here. Okay, so I live out of Missouri, and relative to this time, I'm just going to throw some daytime temperatures. So the first day I pulled, the high temperature was 72 degrees. The second one was 68. The third one was 65. The fourth one was 72. And the fifth one was 69. And the sixth one was, let's do 75. Okay. So I have my 6 temperatures, and you'll notice you can do a Google search, go to weather.com, go to some site, get your 6 previous days. In your case, you're going to want to do it for 10 days. But for my example, I'm going to do it just for 6 days here. So the first thing I'm going to do is calculate the mean. The mean, if I do this by hand, mean is another way to say average. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up a calculator. Here it comes. And I am going to do the sum of all 6 of those temperatures. So I'm going to do a 72, a 68, a 65, a 72, a 69, and a 75. So I end up with, as the sum of those values, 421. Well, I have 6 observations here. So what I need to do is take 6 into 421. So all I have to do inside the calculator here, take that 421, divide by 6, and you'll notice that my average temperature, I'm going to express this to the nearest tenth, is 70 point, well, the 1/6, the 6 would round that 1 up to 2. So we'd have a mean or an average temperature of 70.2 degrees. Okay. So that's the first guy. That is our mean. The next one is going to be the median. Okay. So the median, what I need to do to calculate the median. All right. The first thing I have to do to calculate the median is to list all of these values in ascending order. So my smallest one is 65. So I used 65 there. And then my next one is 68. So that was the next. 69 as the next one. I have 2 values of 72. So 72, 72. And then the last one is 75. Well, how many observations do I have? I have 6 observations. 6 is considered to be an even number. If you have an even number of observations, here's what you do. You're going to take the 2 middle values. Notice I have 3 on the left and 3 on the right. So I'm going to use the 69 and 72, add those guys together, and divide by 2. Well, let's pull out the calculator to perform that task. I'm going to take 69 plus 72. I'm going to take the number divided by 2, and you'll notice I get back as my median 70.5. So my median is 70.5 there. So that takes care of the median. Let's go to mode. Mode is the instance of what value or values occur the most frequent inside of my data. So out of these 6 daily high temperatures, you'll notice that 72 occurs the most frequent inside the data. 68, 65, 69, and 75 only occurs once. So the mode is going to be 72 in this instance. So that takes care of that one. And then last but not least, let's do the mid-range. Mid-range, I'm going to come back. Let's use brown, for example. I'm going to look at the minimum value and the maximum value out of those 6 temperatures. In your instance, it would be the minimum and maximum out of the 10 temperatures. So the minimum value is 65. The maximum value is 75. You're going to take those two values, add them together, and divide by 2. So in this instance, again, pulling out the calculator, you're going to take 65 and 75, take that result, divide by 2, and you'll notice that your mid-range is 70. So in this instance, my mid-range is 70. As part of your initial post, this is what you need to do. You need to show these steps in terms of doing your respective calculations. So basically what I did here, mean, show the sum of the values, divide by, in your case, 10. The median, show the sorted values in ascending order or descending order. It'd still be the same result. Show the middle 2 points, add them together, divide by 2. That gets you your median. The mode, out of your 10 temperatures, identify which observation or temperature occurs the most frequently. Now, for a mode perspective, you could potentially have more than one mode. If, say, in my example, I had the 68 was a 69, I would have had 2 modes in that instance. So depending on your data, you may have one mode. If you don't have any repeats in your data, you wouldn't have any mode in that instance, because that value has to occur more frequently than any of the others inside the data. And then the mid-range, you identify your minimum value, your maximum value, add those guys together and divide by 2 to come up with the mid-range. That is the values that you're going to want to do as part of your initial post. Now, I do want to show here, give me just a second. I want to show this from an Excel standpoint, as soon as this comes up, how I could have verified, just a second here. Those same values. Okay, so my initial values were, I'll just type in for the 65 there. 65, 68, 69, 72, 72, and 75. Now, and let me make this bigger so you can see it on the screen. The first thing I want to do is I'm going to calculate, I'm going to write out mean, median, mode, mid-range. And again, you're welcome to do this to verify, but I do want to see in your initial post over here the steps that are involved. To obtain the median, here's how you do it. Formulas inside of Excel always start with an equal. So you do an equals, type out the word average. You're going to type in an open parenthesis. Select your column header there. Notice A populates, close your parenthesis. Notice we got the exact same value, that's 70.16 repeating. If I round that to the nearest tenth, we end up with the 70.2. Median, same song, different verse. This case, you're going to start with an equals, type in the word median, open parenthesis, select that column header of A, assuming you typed in your values over there, close your parenthesis. Notice we got 70.5. So our arithmetic was correct on that median. Mode, hey, average was a little bit misleading, but median, we typed in the word median. Mode is actually mode. Do an equals mode, open paren, select that column header, it's going to populate all of column A, and notice I get the value of 72 back. Now for mid-range, it's a little bit more involved. Watch here, and again, you can pause the video and take a look at this as well. So you're doing equals, open parenthesis. Well, the first value we said was the minimum, right? MIN will identify a minimum of a range of values. In this case, my 6 that are valued. So equals min, I'm going to do an open parenthesis again. I'm going to select that column. Notice it's going to populate the letters A in there, close the parenthesis. Well, I need to add it to the maximum value. Maximum values plus max, open parenthesis, do that same thing again. It'll populate the A's in there. You'll need to close your parenthesis again. The slash represents division by 2. Notice we ended up with 70 earlier. That is our mid-range. So that is a way from Excel's perspective, you can go in and calculate those 4 central tendencies that we're looking at as part of the initial post. That step's not required, but if you want to verify that it's correct, that would be the way inside of Microsoft Excel that you would accomplish that task. So I'll go ahead and close Excel out here. And then we'll clear out my drawings. We'll come back to the PowerPoint here. 2 more slides. Reminder about the midterm. This opened back week 5. So hopefully you've had a chance to complete it. This still does remain open. Week 11. This is not a proctored assessment. You don't use honor lock for it. So you still can complete it through week 11. Hopefully you have it done by now. If not, strongly encourage you to start taking a look at the bandwidth. We've got only roughly about 3+ weeks left inside the class. Don't want you to be losing points as a result of not getting the work done by the end of the course. And then last but not least, my availability from week 8's perspective. I will be inside the class portal Monday through Friday, unless otherwise announced inside the class portal. Benchmark time to get back with you in 24 hours. Usually it'll be quicker than that. Anything sent after Saturday morning, either Saturday afternoon or all day Sunday, may not be responded to until Monday. That is my time away from facilitation of the class. Email address is listed there, the mweeman@national.edu. If you need to get a hold of me, voicemail option goes directly to my email, and then I'll respond accordingly. Let me know if there's any questions. Thanks.